So we actually look into flows across the world in all equity markets, and we do that against safe bonds. We look at short duration bonds in the US, Canada, UK, Switzerland, Germany, France, and Japan. And what we're seeing is actually a bottom about 4 weeks ago. So there was a very meaningful deterioration all the way until the middle of May. Since then, there has been some recovery. Investors are starting to look into opportunities. We're seeing those flows mainly coming through Asian equities and Asian FX. What we look at, we try to understand where is the growth versus defensive story. So essentially, how investors feel comfortable about the cycle versus how defensive they are. And what we're currently seeing is actually the level of desire to buy defensive stuff is quite extreme. It's actually probably for the lows for the past, say, 10 years or so. Which basically means that there is an expectation that the cycle has turned and we're going to see a pretty meaningful drop in growth going forward. We also looked into the demand for those companies that are exposed to the inflation story. That demand is actually also at 10-year highs. So there is a lot of demand for energy. There is a lot of demand for anything that will provide investors some sort of protection to inflation. And we're seeing that pretty much at a peak for the past 10 years. The emerging market story is quite interesting for a number of reasons. Many of the emerging markets are far away physically from some of the focus of attention in the markets right now, which is the war in Ukraine, for instance. Many of the emerging markets will replace Russia and Ukraine as providers of input to the global economy. So that's commodities, food, energy. And as a result, we also expect that many of those markets will be the leaders in the next cyclical recovery over the next 5 years.